Hello, 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 hello. Good day, everyone. Welcome back to Relationship Cake and Ice Cream. And today, what I want to talk about today is why your happiness matters. I hope everybody is having a great day with all this world chaos we have going on. Hope everybody is being safe, keeping yourself safe. COVID is still out there spreading. So let everybody please keep yourself safe. But let's talk about why your happiness matters. This is part two of my Women Soar series. And I'm going to start out by talking about happiness. I believe that happiness comes from satisfaction with self. That's it. Happiness comes from satisfaction with self. Happiness is not a feeling that can be created from others. Um, People can enjoy, take part in your happiness, but they cannot be the creator of you being satisfied with yourself. So happiness comes from satisfaction with self. Um, In my last podcast, I was talking about outside factors that may make you feel happy or satisfied at the time when those factors are occurring, like being in a new relationship or, having financial security. Those kind of outside factors, getting a new job, getting married, having a new baby, purchasing the home you want, all those outside factors outside of yourself, but can be created by self, will make you feel happy. But for true happiness, it comes from satisfaction with self. Whether you plan to buy a $1 million home and you were able to achieve that, or whether it is that you plan to have financial security by the time you're 30 and you were able to achieve that, those things will lead to satisfaction with self. You plan these things and they happen for you. So as you go through your life, things that come to fruition that you want to gain, whether it's items or things like love, those things lead to you being satisfied with yourself, which is going to cause you to have happiness. Um, in this context, relationships cannot make you happy. Okay, it may add to your feelings of happiness, but you need to feel good about yourself from the start. That's where it begins at. It begins right with yourself. In a relationship, happiness begins with yourself. And the reason why that's so important is because your happiness matters. If any part of the relationship is causing you not to be happy, then that's probably not going to be the relationship for you. Because in order to be happy in that relationship, you must fulfill your goals, desires, and needs and be able to do that within a relationship. You need to still be able to achieve your personal, individual goals, fulfill your needs and desires while you're in a relationship. So let's talk about self, okay? Identifying um, things as it pertains to yourself and your happiness. For yourself, do you have compassion for yourself? Do you have concern for yourself, your choices? Okay, that's what you have to look into. Do you consider yourself? Do you put yourself first in a relationship? Do you put yourself first? What you need, whatever you're concerned about, do you put that first? Okay, in these relationships, we always talking about, cohesiveness, togetherness. All of that is good. But when you're in a relationship, it cannot always be about the other person, your partner, your lover, your husband, your wife. It cannot always be about that other person. Your concerns have to be important to you. Okay. And then you need to know how um, your concerns affect the choices that you make for yourself. Okay. Let me give you an example. If you're concerned about, let's say, conflict resolution, let's say you're concerned about conflict resolution, and you find yourself in a relationship with someone who obviously has a temper problem, who never learn how to manage their own emotions, do you make the correct choice for yourself? Do you stay in that relationship although you have concerns about the other person not being able to manage their emotions? You know that that's not something acceptable to you, but do you put your own concern aside and let the choice be that you're going to stay in that relationship, try to help that person learn how to control their emotions? Okay, that's a no-no. Every person have to be responsible for their own choices. So you become responsible for your choice in that situation. If you choose to stay in that type of situation, knowing that that's not the choice you would make normally for yourself, but you do it anyway, then you're going to find yourself in a situation that is going to be negative. It's not going to be successful. It's going to be unsuccessful because you're not the type of person who deals with conflict in an emotional manner. You probably deal with it in a more rational manner. Okay, so what you should do is make sure that you know for yourself how you make decisions for yourself, long term and short term. You could probably write yourself a note, a short paragraph explaining to yourself how you make decisions for yourself, short term and long term. Because whatever decisions usually you make in the short term will eventually affect the long term. It's like wanting to be a lawyer. Okay. So your short-term decisions, if you wanted to be a lawyer, first of all, we know that we have to, let's say you dropped out of high school. Okay. If that's a factor, the first thing you need to do is get your GED. So once you get that GED, then you may want to enroll in college. Okay. So you may enroll in college. You know that those take baby steps. First, with the GED, you may decide to go to a school where they're going to educate you on what you need to know to work your way up so that you can become a lawyer. So, going back to school to get your GED, that's your short term. Um, that's your short term goal, which will affect your long term outcome. Let me just say it like that. You want to make sure that you understand what decisions you make in for your short term will eventually affect long term. So if you decide to be in a relationship with someone, let's say, who um, has violent tendencies, then of course that's going to affect your life on the long term. You may go through your whole life dealing with somebody who does not know how to control their emotions. Okay, and this is why your choices for yourself and whatever concerns you have must come first. Okay, this is how you're going to get to your happiness, to your happy place. Okay, by putting your concerns and the choices that you make in the forefront. Okay, that must be done. You have to do that. Um, let's talk about love. Loving yourself. Do you love yourself? I always say that loving yourself is evident in how you treat yourself and how you allow others to treat you. Okay, loving yourself. Do you love yourself? How do you treat yourself? What do you think about yourself? Do you think that you don't matter, that your happiness doesn't matter? What do you think about yourself? Loving yourself is always evident in how you treat yourself and how you allow others to treat you. Okay, what do you do for yourself to show that you love yourself? What do you do? Get your hair done every 2 weeks? Is that your gift to yourself? You get your nails done every 2 weeks or whatever. You treat yourself to dinner at nice restaurants. Buy yourself beautiful clothes. You loving yourself also has to do with maintaining your health. Do you see your doctor for a regular checkup yearly? And if you have any type of health issues, do you go and get help for yourself? Those are all have to do with loving yourself. Loving yourself starts with you. Love in a relationship starts with you. We've often heard the expression, people treat you how you allow them to treat you. It is true. Loving yourself starts with you. How another person perceives you and what they can do to you or with you starts with you by setting your boundaries, showing somebody how you treat yourself, and not allowing them to try to get you to do anything different than what you want to do for yourself. Okay, if somebody wants to change you or mold you into what they think is okay, that's not okay. Nobody should be molding you or you allowing them to mold you into being someone else that you're not. Loving yourself is accepting who you are, treating yourself as well as you would treat anyone else, better than you would treat probably anyone else, because loving yourself is going to show you how you want to be treated when you're in a relationship. Treating yourself like you love yourself is going to give you a picture of how you want to be treated when you're in a relationship. So, loving yourself is a very important factor when it comes to you being happy and not allowing someone else to come in and dictate to you who you are. Okay? You know who you are and you know what you want out of this life. If you don't, spend some time soul searching yourself to find out exactly who you are and what you want out of this lifetime, how you want to live, what love looks like to you. Okay? That's what you need to know, what love looks like to you. Okay, and you can start with yourself, loving yourself, having the best, wanting the best, not compromising on the best, not accepting anything less than what you want in this lifetime. That's where true happiness is going to start to come into effect. When you truly know who you are, what you want, how you want to live, and what you will and will not accept. That's what you have to know in order to start this process of fulfilling your own happiness. Excuse me. The next part of happiness is self worth. What is your opinion of yourself? And what type of value do you put on yourself? Do you have a positive self image? Okay, what words would you use to describe yourself? Write them down, put them on paper, the positive words that you would use to describe yourself, that your image of self is. If you have any negative words that you use for yourself, put those down also. And then you need to explore why those negative words are a description of you. If it's areas that you need to work on, you can work on it. Okay, there's no reason